Back on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell and your afternoon drive. Why don't we start with the Olympics? We didn't get to talk about it yesterday. The baseball's back in the Olympics. This is one of the reasons the WBC was started was years ago, even when I was still a player. The Olympics wanted the major leagues to stop for a couple weeks in the middle of the season, like the NHL, and play.
Well, we're talking dream team. We're talking amateurs versus pros as well, because
right. They wanted the Olympics wanted our pros.
Exactly.
And they said no.
They wanted to sell some tickets, and now you've always had the beef against the WBC. When do the Olympics are going to be where the Olympics are? How did they manipulate? They never did. We just took amateurs. We just took people that weren't playing Major League Baseball. Right.
We took drafted players. This has been kind of like a UConn team, where a high percentage of your players have already been drafted by an NHL team and are playing. This would be the Olympic team. A lot of these players, almost every one of them, was a top draft pick, is going to play in the Olympics and then go back and play minor league baseball. And so that used to be the way it is. And so in 2028, they will bring back baseball and softball. And I always thought it was wrong that the Olympics grouped the women in with the men in the softball and taking them out of the Olympics. I thought that was rude.
Two different sports.
Yeah, two totally different sports. And they weren't saying you couldn't have our best. It was a beef with the IOC and the owners of Major League Baseball that goes way back. But I always thought that, listen, baseball should be showcased. It should be in the Olympics.
Global.
It's like a lot, exactly. So that's why I like the flag football. That's why I like some of these other sports that are sports and are played like even at the club level on colleges. You've got thousands upon thousands of these club level teams that some of these people are superior athletes. They may not be NFL ready athletes, but they could play flag football like nobody else.
So I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of teams for the flag football, but I don't know how competitive they are. Baseball, I know there's going to be a lot of teams, and I know that there's 10 that are going to be very competitive. And on a given 4 years, who knows who's going to win.
But every one of these, the IOC was in Mumbai of all places, talking about flag football, baseball, softball, but also cricket, lacrosse, squash, all coming to the Olympics. All, to me, I think you have to be an amazing athlete to play.
Bryce Harper wants to be on this Olympic team. He was talking about it the other day. I think Major League Baseball could actually benefit from this. I know it's going to be, just like the WBC.
Times have changed, though. Times have changed. I'd rather get rid of the WBC, have some way of having a little bit of a lull in the season, and maybe if you shorten the season to allow this 2-week break and let them go play Olympic baseball. I honestly, you're trying to grow the game. This year was a great year as far as the fans coming back. It's first time in a long time. I think 2007 was the last time we got 70 million to go to games, and especially following COVID when they didn't have anybody at games. That was nuts.
We got so many options to watch it, too.
Right, and so I just think that you have to expose the rest of the world to it. And you can't just be coaching a little bit here and a little bit there and all that kind of stuff. You got the United Baseball that I'm a part of, and helping them grow that. But we're talking about what? Pakistan, India, Saudi Arabia, and it's just a small amount. I think it's 8 teams. That's not that many, So in order to grow this globally, the Olympics is the best event where you still feel that there's some amateurs, even though there really isn't, and showcase baseball and softball.
I just think it's funny how one of the biggest events of the summer is the Little League World Series. And it's
always the highest rated on ABC and ESPN, by the way.
That is a global event and becomes even more global as the years go on.
Well, because every parent sees their kid being able, whether it's a girl or a boy now, it doesn't matter what gender you are. You can play Little League. And since the mid-'70s, when they first allowed girls to play in Little League, they're getting better and better. Now you're getting them at the pro level. Eventually, you're going to get them at the major league level. I have no doubt that humans will be talented enough to do that. But the Little League World Series, where everybody is I don't want to say the talent level, but not everybody is peaked. Some people are peaking. Kids at that age, whether it be 12, 13, going on 13-ish.
That one pitcher from Curacao.
I mean, some of them are a little exceptional.
A little advanced.
But for the most part, if you can get the right all-stars together, it's very competitive. And I don't want to say it's on an even playing field, but it really is on an even playing field.
Well, speaking for the Edwin Diaz family, maybe we should let the college kids play in this one and then leave the Major League Baseball players out of it, because I do think where the Olympics are, you're going to have to make concessions one way or another. And if we were talking pitching, if we're talking keeping people healthy, and if we're talking about really the best baseball being in October, I would rather have people like Edwin Diaz available.
No, listen, I agree with that wholeheartedly. What I'm saying is a lot of these guys love to play for their countries and love to go home in the off season, and they still play winter ball. You can't stop them. And to me, I think it's amazing. Having played winter ball, I wouldn't have made it to the major leagues without it. So this is just a way to, listen, you get a gold medal, you can get on the podium, you're proud forever, your family's proud forever in your country. I don't think there's any way better to represent your country than the Olympics. And I think that's why Bryce Harper's saying that. Because a lot of us, especially, I only played 1 year at college, a lot of these guys that played in the Olympics and won gold medals, that honestly, to some of them, if they never win a World Series, is the biggest moment in their careers. Yep. And they got to do it as amateurs. So I agree. We should let the college kids do it. But that's, again, the way Major League Baseball has taken over the minor leagues, is taking over these wood bat leagues. I wouldn't put it past them for them to be like, even have minor leaguers do it. Have like these future minor leaguers play it. I would be cool with that.
Because it's a promotion for them. And when you see an Adley Rutschman for the Orioles, you will know a little bit more about him before his first couple at-bats in Baltimore.
And now he's world-renowned. I mean, to me, it's also like the guys that are up for the Golden Spikes Awards. The top college guys, they should have an opportunity like the basketball to make the team. If you're like the best college basketball player, the best college baseball player, you should have hockey. You should have an opportunity to get in there, mix it up, and if the coach deems you Olympic worthy with these other guys, you should be on those teams.
The baseball that's going on tonight, little 8:03 first pitch. We do have one lineup waiting on another. Texas Rangers going to be hosting the Houston Astros as the Rangers are up 2-0. But really the big topic of this ball game is Max Scherzer's return, as he will get the start. Christian Javier for the Houston Astros. Rangers have their lineup: Simeon Seager, Carter. Man, this Evan Carter dude.
He's becoming a household name at 21. I love it.
He is making a name for himself. And you got Garcia behind him, followed by Heim, Garver. Is it Low or Lau for this one?
He's a Lau.
He's a Lau?
They're brothers.
They're both Laus?
They're brothers. Yeah, they're both Laus.
A lot of brothers in the league right now.
Yep.
We got, Lau, then Young, then Tavares. And that's your lineup for the Texas Rangers.
Speed. I love their speed.
Let me see versus Christian Javier what we got. Small sample sizes all around.
Well, he's only been in the bigs for 4 years. He's made 75 starts. He's 31-10. He's got a great, 30-17, and a 3.5 ERA. This year, 10-5. But he's pitching on an all-star team. The ERA was a little bit large for Christian, but this guy's got great stuff, man. He's got great stuff, and a lot of pressure to not lose Game 3. But if you go down 3-0, I don't see you recovering. Not easy.
Both of these.
Got to go back to 2004 to remember somebody losing the ALCS or the NLCS when you're up 3-0. Right, Kurt? Did you hear Jeter bring it up? And Poppy kind of laughed.
What did he do? He realized what he was doing? Okay, good.
Well, exactly. I think he didn't realize, oh, crap, that's the guy that made that happen. And so as it came out of his mouth, Poppy just starts laughing.
Out of all these players, believe it or not, the bottom of the order, who's also hot, Leody Taveras, the center fielder, is 5 for 16 on Javier, and he does have a home run in that mix. That's 313.
Look at these numbers. These are not the way they should be, though. This dude, 150 pitches his first year, 150 innings pitched his first year, his first full years with 25 starts. This year, 31 starts, 162 innings. Guys I played with would do 100 more innings a year. And the reason I say that is...
He's not unique. I
mean, this is today's pitch.
Right.
You didn't want to leave it up to some other guy coming out of the bullpen.
Exactly.
You wanted to pitch those extra 2 innings to start. That's where I think, how are you going to 20 years from now put a guy in the Hall of Fame where he wins 100 games and he loses 80? Because that's what's going to happen. Nobody can win 300 like that. Nobody can win 250 like that. I think, we may never see 20 years from now another 200-game winner. That you're going to be like, back in 2025, this guy was, 13-7. Whoa! And this guy ultimately over 20 years, he ended up winning 110 games and losing 77.
I always think
the 4 ERA. He's a Hall of Famer.
When we think of the sluggers of the 1890s, and this guy was known to be a home run hitter with 9 home runs.
9, that'd be a lot for the day.
Exactly.
I would say 3.
And for those guys to look at what we're looking at now, it'd blow their minds.
Dude, Cy Young used to pitch 400 innings a year.
Christian Javier's last 2 outings in the playoffs, Minnesota, he went 5 innings, only gave up 0 runs, 1 hit. They pulled him after a 1-hitter. That's right. I forgot about all of that.
No, because but
that's the formula.
The formula is don't allow him to get into trouble in the 6th and 7th inning. So somewhere these analytics nerds have said, listen, even though the guy's throwing great, nobody's hit a ball out of the infield in 15 outs. We don't want to see 15 through 21 outs and see what could happen. So we got to pull this dude out of the game. And bring in a guy that's cold, just warmed up, comes into the game, and now might not have the same feel for the game. And that's where Kevin Kernan and I agree. You have to have more feel for these guys, and that's what happened. Even the 2 guys that came in after Kelly got bombed. They gave up 6 runs. Those 2 next relievers.
Oh yeah.
So you brought in guys that haven't gotten a lot of work in the postseason, probably haven't pitched, regularly in 2-3 weeks. Now all of a sudden in a big spot. All right, this is the 7th guy out of the bullpen because we don't want to waste our first 4 guys out of the bullpen. So bring in that dude. That dude comes out, he gives up 3. The next guy gives up 3. It's like game over. You got no shot at coming back when you're down 10-0.
Game over, man. Game
over, man. Game over.
Twins did walk 5 times against him in that outing, and then before that, it was a 9-day layoff before that because he didn't get to pitch in the wild card series.
Because he's not a 1 or 2 or 3. So when you get to the 7-game series, you're getting your 3s and your 4s out there. But here's the thing about the Rangers: you're pulling number 1 out of a hat.
Yeah.
Now you psychologically, Max is not unprepared for this spot, and that's the beauty of a Max Scherzer. I'm not trying to bag on Merrill Kelly pitching in Korea or pitching wherever else he pitched, but Max Scherzer's pitched in New York, and Max Scherzer's pitched in Washington. He's pitched in the World Series. He knows exactly what's necessary for him to give the ball to somebody in the 6th or 7th inning, and he knows what it's going to take.
Au contraire, mon frere. Now, you are speaking of a full, complete package of Max Scherzer history. Let me give you some of the recent stuff. Last outing, September 12th. That's a long time ago.
A month ago.
Before that was against the Toronto Blue Jays. He did get that win. He got the decision in that. I would say vintage Scherzer, 5 1/3 with 3 hits and no runs that were scored on him. Before that, September 6th, against the Houston Astros, who roughed him up. 7 runs, all were earned through 6 hits. Did give up 2 walks, and only faced 18 batters in that affair. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I say flip a coin on this Max Scherzer tonight. I don't know what you're gonna get. You might get vintage Max Scherzer, like Dibbs is talking his whole career. Or you might get that recent Max Scherzer that's given up 7 runs to a potent back against the wall.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is you're getting a Hall of Fame brain. He's a Hall of Famer. So when you're putting that guy out there, his routine, him going, I mean, listen, I love Eovaldi. I love some of these other guys. Those guys are Hall of Famers. But when they've been pitching great, even Nola, I've been saying that guy's a Cy Young winner for the last 7 years. I mean, he's got amazing stuff.
Yeah.
The difference between winning Cy Youngs and guys who have them, like Scherzer, are that mentally from outing to outing is no different to that guy.
I love it when he gives up home runs. And, it's a solo shot usually, and it's like he gets mad for a second, and then give me that damn ball, and let me face the next guy.
214 and 108. Like I said, he's not going to get to 250 wins. I don't think his career will last that long. But when you look at some of the other things statistically about him, It was how consistent he was until he started getting older, and that's the difference. But still, when he went over to the Dodgers, dude, 11 starts, 7-0.
Yeah.
You know, even on the Mets for those 23 starts, 11-5. I'd have to go back and really check. And that was 2 years ago. Then 19, that was when he was hurt, and we saw him with the Yard Goats. Even this year, 19 starts, 9-4. It's consistency with this guy. And so when they're, their routine and stuff like that, they want that around the younger pitchers as much as him every fifth day. Now, did you see the thing with DeGrom today? So Joel Sherman, I guess, I don't know where Joel is now, but I know he's with the MLB channel. Wherever he just talked about this, he says that DeGrom couldn't wait to get out of New York. And DeGrom, he says, he debates that. He said, no way. He said, listen, I'm the type of guy I just want to pitch. I love pitching. I'll pitch anywhere. He said, the only thing I've been battling is my health. He said, but I never wanted out of New York. He didn't want somebody to put words in his mouth. So, but listen, DeGrom was brought in to do what Scherzer's doing tonight.
Yeah.
To be able to, if you're Chris Young's been sitting up there going, man, almost every one of my moves has paid off. So, I think he went to Princeton. I'm almost sure he did. I think it was, what's his face? The catcher went to Dartmouth, but I think he went to Princeton. And brilliant guy. He's sitting up there just going, listen, I'm as smart as any of these analytics nerds, and I pitched in the major leagues. So you get a little bit of both worlds. Princeton, yeah. So
only 44.
Oh, he's a great kid. Great. He's like 6'10", a monster of a guy.
Oh my God, you're right on that. He is 6'10". Yeah.
Like Steve Smith, man, I know a little bit about baseball.
A little bit about it.
All right, when we come back, somebody's got their Connecticut College football power poll
time.
The week of October 18th.
Woo!
We'll be right back with Ben Darnell.